Imagine growing up in a city where opportunities feel scarce and your dreams seem distant. In the crowded streets of São Paulo, Brazil, a young boy found himself facing these odds every day. But this isn't just any story, this is the story of a legend in the making. A man who would redefine the world of martial arts and become a global icon, Anderson Silva. Silva's life was transformed forever by martial arts. After starting in a working-class family with few resources and numerous obstacles, it wasn't merely a pastime, it was his way out, his love, his destiny. At the age of 12, while his peers were still discovering their interests, Silva was resolute in his goal to excel in Taekwondo, despite facing difficulties. Achieving this was not easy, since formal training demanded commitment, time, and money, resources that Silva's family lacked. Silva was resolute. He discovered methods for practicing, whether it was at nearby fitness centers, public facilities, or by honing skills independently. As Silva aged, his interest in martial arts continued to intensify. He didn't confine himself solely to Taekwondo. He ventured into different combat styles, each providing a fresh and thrilling experience. He started practicing capoeira, a Brazilian martial art that integrated dance, acrobatics, and music. Capoeira introduced him to fluidity and rhythm, which later became defining aspects of his fighting technique. After that, he transitioned to Muay Thai, known as the Art of Eight Limbs, where he was taught to use his fists, elbows, knees, and shins for striking. This harsh but efficient discipline brought a new element to Silva's expanding range of techniques. Silva experienced his first formal training when he became a member of a Muay Thai gym in Curitiba. This moment was crucial in his life, as it signified the start of his professional martial arts career. Silva started to enhance his skills under the supervision of experienced and skilled coaches. Even during that initial period, his commitment to the art was unquestionable. Silva stood out at the gym because he had an innate talent. He wasn't just an ordinary kid. His accuracy, seamless motion, and keen intuition immediately distinguished him from his peers. Silva had a remarkable skill in predicting his opponent's actions and responding with unusual accuracy, especially considering his young age. His coaches recognized his natural ability and were aware that they were witnessing the development of a future winner. By the end of the 1990s, Silva was prepared to enter the realm of professional combat. In 1997, he performed for the first time at a modest gathering in Brazil. The young fighter quickly left his mark by winning his first match with a submission that demonstrated his versatility. Silva was more than just a striker, he was evolving into a versatile martial artist. Silva had his breakthrough in 2001 after he became a part of the Japanese organization, PRIDE Fighting Championships. This is where Silva started to stand out. His displays in Pride were dynamic, prompting fans to recognize his smooth technique and deadly striking skills. Silva's memorable win over Carlos Newton at Pride 25 in 2003 showcased his lethal accuracy, marking one of his notable early triumphs. However, Silva's journey to becoming a star in the UFC was still in front of him. In 2006, he had his first fight in the UFC against Chris Laban, who was famous for his strong chin and aggressive approach. Many people believed Laban would easily defeat Silva, but the unexpected outcome surprised the MMA community. Silva took apart Laban in only 49 seconds, repeatedly landing precise strikes. It was evident that a fresh power had entered the UFC. Not long afterwards, Silva secured an opportunity to compete for the UFC middleweight championship against Rich Franklin. In October 2006, Silva's impressive performance in the clinic rendered Franklin powerless, leading Silva to claim the title in the first round. The victory signaled the start of Silva's remarkable era as champion, which would stretch for an extraordinary 2,457 days, nearly 7 years. Throughout his rule, Silva successfully protected his championship belt on 10 occasions, solidifying his reputation as one of the top fighters in the history of MMA. Notable moments in his championship reign include his impressive stoppage of Vitor Belfort at UFC 126 in 2011, with Silva executing a memorable front kick to the face that resulted in Belfort being knocked down. The accuracy and quickness of that kick are now considered one of the most memorable moments in UFC's past. Silva's fight against Chael Sonnen in 2010 was one of his most unforgettable battles. Sonnen controlled the fight against Silva for nearly 5 rounds, utilizing his wrestling skills. However, in the closing moments of the 5th round, Silva executed an incredible triangle armbar submission, clinching victory and maintaining his championship in one of the most remarkable comebacks witnessed in the octagon. Silva was not only a title holder, but also a skilled artist within the octagon. He combined grace, precision, and brutality in his style. His movements were graceful, evading attacks and responding with pinpoint precision. Fans were mesmerized by his skill in transforming fights into spectacles, utilizing techniques that only a few fighters could imitate. Anderson Silva's unique presence in the sport was characterized by his confident demeanor, ability to provoke opponents, and unwavering focus. Within the octagon, Silva exuded a tranquil presence that appeared to be almost otherworldly. Regardless of his opponent's experience levels, Silva consistently remained calm and composed, effortlessly outshining even the most challenging competitors with his smooth and graceful movements. Watching him expertly avoid attacks and retaliate with perfect accuracy was captivating. Silva had a certain aura of being unbeatable, which followed him during his time as champion, until the unexpected occurred in 2013. In July 2013, Silva lost his title as the middleweight champion. Chris Weidman caused a major upset by knocking out Silva in the second round of their UFC 162 fight. Silva, renowned for his flashy behavior and teasing, suffered the consequences when Weidman landed a strong punch on him while Silva had his hands down. The world was shocked. Anderson Silva had ultimately suffered a loss. The next game was set to be even more thrilling and gripping than the initial one. Silva fought against Weidman for the second time at UFC 168 in December 2013. The match was much awaited, with followers and experts excited to observe Silva's reaction following his first loss. During the second round of the fight, Silva tried a risky leg kick to target Weidman. Nevertheless, Weidman demonstrated outstanding defensive abilities by effectively stopping the kick. Silva's kick against Weidman's defense resulted in a chilling and memorable moment in UFC history. Silva experienced a severe leg injury that was highly shocking to all those in attendance. The injury was so serious that it left spectators and other fighters shocked. The intense emotions surrounding the event were intensified by the dramatic injury and high stakes of the rematch, making it a significant moment in UFC history. Even with the terrible injury, Silva was not prepared to surrender. During the following year, he engaged in rigorous rehabilitation, gradually returning to the beloved sport. He had his comeback bout in January 2015 against Nick Diaz at UFC 183. Silva emerged victorious in the fight through a unanimous decision, demonstrating that despite a severe injury, he possessed the abilities necessary to compete at the top tier. Yet there was controversy surrounding Silva's comeback, as he was found to have used performance-enhancing substances following the Diaz battle. This tarnished his reputation, leading to Silva being suspended for 12 months. However, despite facing obstacles, Silva persevered in his battles, motivated by his passion for the sport and his determination to retire on his terms. Over time, Silva encountered a fresh wave of fighters. While he didn't win every time, he consistently showed his talent and determination, gaining the admiration of fans and fellow fighters. Silva's warrior spirit was demonstrated by his readiness to confront anyone, even as he got older. In 2020, Silva competed in his last UFC match against Uriah Hall, marking the end of an illustrious career in MMA history. Anderson Silva's impact on the history of MMA is firmly established, serving as a testament to the possibilities that come from a blend of innovation, accuracy, and bravery. From starting in Curitiba to becoming the middleweight champion, Silva's path is a compelling tale of determination, natural ability, and an unwavering drive to be the world's top athlete. While Silva's iconic UFC career may have concluded, his impact on the martial arts world persists. His impact will surely be honored for many years, providing a model for upcoming winners. Every time Anderson Silva entered the octagon, we, as fans, had the privilege of witnessing greatness, and his lasting influence on mixed martial arts will always be remembered. Anderson Silva's journey reminds us that no dream is too big if we're willing to fight for it. From the streets of São Paulo to becoming one of the greatest fighters in the world, Silva's story shows us that success isn't about where you start, it's about how far you're willing to go. So, whether you're facing challenges in your own life or just beginning your journey, remember Silva's story. Never give up, keep pushing, and always believe in your power to succeed. If Silva's journey inspires you, take the first step toward your greatness. Start training, learning, or working toward your passion today. Who knows? You might just be the next legend in the making.